Good morning and welcome to Poppy's Workshop. And what's on Poppy's Workbench? Actually, there's a lot going on in the workshop today and what's going on in the workbench. So I'll show you some of the things that I'm doing. Um, you probably have already seen the video that came out, I believe, Tuesday, where I used some of the scrap area of one of my pieces to start carving out a spoon. And that particular video that you saw was me actually shaping the spoon using my soft barrel sander. So this was a piece, I believe this is cherry, and what I had to do is take a little sawdust and CA glue and tack it there so that there's no more flex. You can see just a little bit on the top part. So this wood was a little bit, I don't know, too soft, I guess, for this type of design. So in future designs, either I will be making this center line a little bit smaller, or I'll cut here, stop here, and then just leave a little bit here and then come to this point here, either here or here. That way it'll be connected and it will, keep support in the middle. So that's what I plan on doing on that. So this is at the rough stage right now. Let me bring it up a little bit closer to the camera. You can see that it's a fairly deep spoon. What do you want to call it? Hole? I don't know what to call it. Scoop. I still got to bring out just a little bit more, but this is the rough of it. I'll show you some other things here. So let's move that aside. So you're probably wondering about these little guys. Let me do this. So I decided to try and maximize my wood, and let's just do this. Just look at the two at the bottom right now. Ignore these two at the top. I'll explain those in a moment. So I took a 12-inch by 6-inch pieces of wood. So here they are right here, half an inch. And these were, I think, aspen or Baltic birch. I forgot what. That's a softer wood. So I stacked them, and I was cutting out various vehicles here. So here would be the middle, which is the half inch. Then, swappy, using some mahogany. Well, you can't see it now, but it was going this way. You can see the cars in between here. I had a whole bunch to do the left and right sides. The issue that I have is I have 1-inch wheels, and I may have to go to 3/4. And that's why I'm going to stop at this point, is if I drill my hole here, I have to actually drill a larger hole for the 1-inch wheel. So I'll actually center it up here. And if I use the 1-inch wheel, it'll look like this. Let me do this. Let me place it down. And I think, yes, you can see that. And I'll angle it. Let me get these out of the way. So if I center it, that was nice. So if I center it where I think it'll go, it'll look like this. Now the wheels look a little bit big. I'm going to angle it a little bit. Yeah, that ain't helping much here. Let's do this. Yeah, I'm having trouble with that. Okay, so I'm trying to get it so you can see. They look a little bit big, so I'm not sure if it's going to scale properly. So I'm in kind of a production mode here. Being that they were too big, what I've elected to do is go to a bigger template. So you can see I glued over the remaining small ones and did some larger ones. So in this case, I'll have some leftover. So I'll be producing 2 more. So this is stacked as well with the 1/8-inch mahogany. I'm knocking everything down today. So I'm going to go with a little bit bigger. So if I decide to do 1-inch wheels, it'll look like that. Don't like that. I think this is a 1.5 inch wheel, which I like a lot better than, say, that. So I think scaling wise, this looks so much better. So that's what I'll be doing. And I have what is it, about $125 worth of wheels and axles coming in today, because I'm actually, I forgot what day it is today. I'm filming on a Saturday for this particular one, so that I can have it broadcast later in the week, because I've got a few that I have to do. So anyway, let me show you the process of what, excuse me, I have been doing. So the first part, of course, is the double stacks. These are the outside portions, and then even though it is stack cut, this will be a single. So left and right side goes to the middle. So let me show you that. So here is the middle, right here, and we'll put a mahogany piece there, and then one on the other side. And I will then glue it up and clamp it, so basically it would look like this. Yep, get that down there. Okay, you can't really see it here, upside down. So it'll look like that. Here we go. Let's get that there. Here you can see that. So that is step one and step two. So when it's all dried and we remove it from the clamps, let's move that out of the way, you now have this. This is what it looks like all together. Now you can see the glue leaks out and doesn't look very pleasant. But that's okay. I've expected that. All right. And there you go. That's what it looks like when the glue is done. So let's do this. Okay, yeah. So then the next step is I go to my barrel sander and I start shaping and smoothing and evening out all the pieces of wood. So you can see, now if you look at the bottom, you can see how it's all smooth. So that's the next step. Now from there, I did some rough shaping, and now I will be doing some more rough shaping, because if you take a look, yeah, okay, here's the head. Looks good from the side, but then when you start going to the front, it's like, it doesn't look too real. Ugh. So what I am doing, as you can see the pencil mark, is I'm deciding on where I am going to start shaping. And I will use my my rotary tool for that, and I think I have it lying right here. Yeah, so I got my rotary tool right here, and this has the small barrel sander on it, but I have a number of other bits that I use. But the main thing that I will be doing is starting to round out this way, not only the head, but a little bit of the front windshield, and also the back neck support, I guess you would call that. So that's the next step. And then from there, this is very rough right now. I just started rounding out the head, so you can see how he's starting to shape. So here is the back on that. So one thought that I had is I'm doing it all together and I don't have any issue going in there. And I actually did this with the barrel sander. So it's a real rough. But what I think I may use, let me get this out here. This is one of my cuts all. So either I'll use this one, which is a medium cut, or I will go to one of my finer. I'm trying to see which ones I will do my diamond tip. I might use something like this to do my shaping. So I have a number of different types of bits that I can use that go from very, very fine to you know, to, of course, a course, of course, a course, a horse, a course. So these are the minis that I'm making right now. And I thought I had another one here somewhere that I don't know where it disappeared to. Oh, yeah. Oh, oh man, I would forget my head. Yeah, that's the other one. So let me remove those clamps. So I have, whoops, 6 right now. And my plans for these is basically, I call them my pocket racers. And I'm just going to keep these in my pocket. And if I'm in a store or I'm out and about somewhere and there's a little child, and you know, the child is just a wonderful, you know, just behaving or whatever, I don't know, maybe not even doing anything. And here I'll be able to give them a little pocket racer. They're very easy to cut out. I can cut them out really quick, especially when I'm stack cutting them. And sanding doesn't take too long. You know, you can see I'm thinking of, let me move that up. I don't know if you can see the pencil mark in the front here. So I'm thinking of doing a little bit more rounding in the front and then tapering it, just to see how it looks. The nice thing about this, you know, either I put it on my soft barrel sander or I have my 21 by 1 belt sander and disc sander, 5-inch disc sander. I've got my big one, my big monster, but that's a little bit too much for these. So that's that, but I will be going a little bit bigger, as I had stated before, so you can see how much bigger. Whoop, let's try that again. Let's keep my thumb there. So you can see how much bigger I am going. Let me go backwards. Here's the back. So we're talking a good 25, 30% increase that I think I'm going to go with the pocket ones. But I do really like these sizes. It reminds me of the old Matchbox. Actually, just a hair bigger than the Matchbox sets. So that's what I have going on right now. You will see in various Saturdays, here's a scrap piece of mahogany that I have. And these are some love spoons that I will do when I have time. This is only 1/2 inch. Usually I do my spoons at a 3/4, but I want to try something a little bit less shallow and not shaped quite as much on the back. You can see that I've already penciled in where I will be carving. And I will be hand carving this with my chisel set. And that's kind of the chisels that you see in the opening and closing screen. And then let's do this. Here are some other car and boat that I'm going to be doing. And as you can see, here's a different love spoon. This is one of my favorite designs. And I'll be using the scrap area to cut those out. And I do have scrap area here, so I will most likely be adding something else here. Not quite sure yet. It most likely will be a spoon. And here's another one with that other design. Now, one of the problems that I had, I actually cut out 3 of these style spoons, and you only see the results of one. I did a stack cut, and that stack cut, because it was so thick and hard wood, there was some deflection in the blade, so there was some breakage on the lower pieces. So it's like, okay, so that's why I'm not doing stack cuts on these. And then the other one that I am doing, of course, is my mascot, the puppy, and spoon there. So what most likely will happen is I will just cut the outside of this out. Maybe I'll get to the inside. I'm not sure. It depends on how quickly I'm cutting it. I know I can cut these pretty quickly, but I won't do any shaping or anything. I'm just going to have a whole bunch of blanks, and then maybe one day I'll put it to my table, whether I power carve, hand carve, whatever I decide on, that's what I will do. I think I've already showed you what is up and ready for sanding and adding wheels. Um, Here we have out of white oak, and I think this is mahogany. Can't tell. It might be cherry. I think that's cherry. We have that, and then the other design, 3 of each of the horse. Now these I scaled down just a little bit. Again, what I'm trying to do is have some available that'll just fit in my pocket and do that, whereas these are the ones that most likely will go, to the different charities and other places, police, fire departments. I'm kind of working the sizes a little bit differently. So these 3 that I just showed you are the full-size versions. So I'm really starting to get a good stock of things, but there's also people where I work at NATO, some of the foreign officers and NATO international civilians that have had some children here in the United States, and I just gave one away, the boat, as a matter of fact, to one of the NATO Nicks, and his son is Axel, was born in December. So gave that to him yesterday, as a matter of fact, and he has a 2-year-old daughter. So I'm going to make a little bit larger version of that horse, as you've already seen, and that'll go to her. But again, when I see kids and stuff like that, it's just something that I can give. I think these are the wheels that I might prefer for those sizes versus the really large. So let me slide that up. Yeah, there we go. So that's pretty much what is on Poppy's workbench. I still have some, let's see, 1, 2, 3 of my Corvettes that need to be completed. I have a puzzle that needs to be completed. Just a lot of things going on. So anyway, there you go. That's what's on Poppy's workbench for this week. Make sure at 9:30 a.m. Eastern Time on Sundays that you tune in for my live stream of me working in the workshop. And I interact with folks on the chat. I'll quick glance over and answer questions or just talk. And I'm slowly getting a little bit better at being able to walk and chew gum at the same time, or walk and scroll. So there you go. With that, may the Lord richly bless you and make it a great day right here at Poppy's Workshop.